for veterans, Black veterans, well, minority veterans that are interested in starting farms.
I saw one about a week or so that came out.
Mm-hmm.
We have one of our lead people that's in our group, Tamika Peoples.
Yeah.
She works with the veterans, and so I'm sure she'll be on here at some point in time. Would definitely like to connect you with her also.
Okay.
She's in California, and she does a lot of things with the veterans and stuff there. So, but yeah, we will be more than happy to work with you, talk to you, and see what all you got going on. I got your number and stuff here, and so I'll definitely have to hook up with you afterwards. And,
oh yeah, definitely. You know, I live up here in Gary, Indiana. So, and I think that Rob was telling me that you're down in Central Indiana.
Yeah, I'm down here. You know where Evansville is, then, don't you?
Oh yeah, I definitely know where Evansville at. Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I'm about 20 miles north, and right outside of Princeton, in the last remaining African American community in our settlement in Indiana, which is Lyle Station, Indiana.
Oh, Lyle Station. I heard of Lyle Station. Lyle Station. So so that's where the Underground Railroad went through there, right?
Yeah, I went through there. My father-in-law was featured in the Smithsonian African American Museum of History and Culture as the last remaining African American farmer who's still farming family-owned land that they own pre-Civil War.
Wow.
So
wow. That's history, Black history right here.
Yeah, that's Black history right here. So I work with quite a few folks up there in the Gary area. With Jonathan Booth.
Jonathan Booth. That name sounds very familiar. I think do we have a son named Fernando Booth?
No, don't give me the line. I ain't that deep with him. Just talk to him.
School with Fernando, and I think that Jonathan is a little older. He's older than I am, right? I think Jonathan may be in his 60s or 70s or something like that. Is that the right one? Well, I've got the wrong one.
You may have the wrong one. I think he's a little bit younger than that. I think he's probably late 40s, early 50s.
Okay.
And so, yeah, definitely with. As a matter of fact, I'm working with him up there on a few things right now, and we have the queen on here now, who I was.
You just spoke her up.
Yeah. So, Tamika.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right. We got Mr. Marlon Mitchell on here, and he's with. Well, I'll let you do a quick introduction, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Darrell, and we can get the party started.
Yeah, how's it going, Miss Peoples? I'm Marlon Mitchell. I hail from Gary, Indiana. Been working really closely with the gentleman by the name of Rod Bawdy. We're looking at starting 2 grows, one in Mississippi and one in Alabama, and just been looking at the different ways that we can get into this, and of course secure some.
What kind of grows? What kind of grows were those?
One is a medicinal grow, cannabis, and others a hemp grow.
But with what group?
What's up?
What group?
What's the name of the company?
No. What group of people?
Oh, what group of people? Of course, it's Black folk, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's Black veterans. I'm trying to tie you and her together.
Yeah, veterans. Yeah. Yeah, you turned me off with that one. I thought I had no idea. I had no idea where you're trying to guide me.
Yeah, I was trying.
So,
I was throwing them, you ducking. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there's a grant that came up, and Mr. Jamerson said that you're probably going to be writing on it too. It's just the one for the military veterans, the competitive grants for farming.
I
told him I forwarded it to you, and
you did send that. Thank you so much for that, John. We do have a whole calendar. I think one of them is on there. I honestly haven't even
Right.
thought about that one, just because
Okay.
of what we're trying to do on the, we're looking at a few grants that kind of tie into a few other things, and I want to take up everybody's space, but please continue, sir. I'm sorry
Oh
about, sorry
yeah.
about my
Yes.
lighting earlier. It was horrible.
Yeah. So what we're doing right now, we're just raising money from friends and family, of course. And then this grant came up, and I just finished writing a grant for the Department of Labor. And
Nope.
looking
Thank
at
you.
what I just wrote and looking at what's here, I can probably use about 50-60% of what I
Okay.
wrote already. So I figured this is low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
No.
that.
Magnetic, huh?
All right.
How much that cost?
All right.
Huh?
I see we got Ty
No,
on
no, no,
here.
no. The box.
So,
This box.
all right. So I'm getting ready to
No, no.
back off. I'm gonna ask everybody
Yeah,
to
I want to get
mute
one.
themselves, and for those who
Nice.
can't, I'll mute them for you. And
Thank you.
I'm turning it over to Darrell.
All right. How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Right.
How you
Good,
doing,
good.
Brother?
Good. All right. So my name is Darrell, and for those of you who probably are familiar with me, I'm the CEO of Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce, located in Virginia Beach. We manufacture hot sauces, ginger drinks with alkaline water. The specialty is recipe development. And so for this month's third Thursday, I was selected to basically bring in another entrepreneur that was from, that is in the field of different things as well. And someone I'm very familiar with for, I think I've been knowing Ms. Turner, 2 years, maybe 3 years now. And so she's going to be our feature host, guest speaker tonight. Excuse me. So, yeah. So Ms. Turner, yep, you can introduce yourself and you can talk about what you do, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of what you do as far as your entrepreneurship and your products and things like that.
Yeah, so thank you so much for inviting me. We met at the Black Convention in Philadelphia, so I was really proud to see so many Black leaders working together and connecting. He's been amazing when it comes to networking and staying connected. I'm Philadelphia raised. I've been self-employed for over 30 years. I have a hair salon. I created an all-natural hair loss products, and I work directly with the youth. I have a summer program that I call Black Beauty Enterprise. And I teach young men and women the importance of being an entrepreneur and learning about our community and knowing that so many of us are not preparing our children for wealth, but we're also looking at the disparity when it comes to other nationalities reaping the financial benefits. So I teach them to do an analysis on all small businesses to see how much resources is being taken out of our communities, and learning and teaching them not to shop if they're not going to support our families and friends moving forward. I'm also the president of PPIA, which is a new coalition from the barbershops and hair salons. Because of COVID, we were deeply impacted as small businesses, and we're deemed unprofessional and unessential. So because we're the health and wellness of our communities, we're the last staples. I've been fighting for the past year to make sure that we get the support that we need as entrepreneurs. So thank you, Darrell, for inviting me on the call.
Okay. All right. So we'll get into some questions. And, so with the hair business, I used to be a barber as well, used to cut hair and everything. And I kind of got out the business years ago. So tell me about tell our group, not me in particular, but tell us about how, you made that transition, because I hear the word youth, and how we can tie youth into, the next generation. So coming from a salon perspective, and what was your interest as far as helping the youth get into entrepreneurship? What sparked your interest for that?
I will always say I had a passion for the youth. They always call me like the teenage whisperer, because I understand that that's the highest rate of suicide. And they're very complex because half of them want to be children and the other half want to be adults. So they have like a dual personality. But I think for me, I'm very sensitive to the uprise of killings with our younger generation, and nobody's really attacking that issue and really giving them coping mechanisms. So my passion has always been for the youth, even though I try to help all business owners as well as myself. And that's how I've been able to work and stay connected to all the teenagers that have been in my salon, or now they're young adults, they still stay connected with me. And one of the things that the youth always mention is people get the notoriety by working with the youth and then they phase off. So the lack of commitment when it comes to our youth and connection is really the problem within our Black communities.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so yeah, the youth is definitely a big thing. Even with what our company does with the group is, kidpreneurs and workshops and things. So that's very interesting. So how would you think? How does the kids or the children receive what you do? I mean, are they really open to? And then we're going to get into your products as well, because we're going to tie this into farming and natural products and things like that. So the youth part is kind of where we start, here at now. So as far as the children, how do they receive you? You know what I'm saying, as far as coming in with this new youth entrepreneur type thing, or do they receive you well?
I think they're very receptive because most of the children, they get on TikTok, Instagram. A lot of them said, Miss Ann, Facebook is dated. So you got to meet them where they are. A lot of them, I taught them during my summer youth program, they have this new song, It's Bigger Than Black and White. You can't change things overnight. So I asked them to create unique masks and try to see whether or not we can push them to sell it online to make their own wealth. Not a big, like a whole lot of money, but just showing them that you created this from beginning to end, and this is your baby. But I think the connection part is key. The passion is key. And then showing that the death rate was key. So they were able to visibly see their family and friends by doing research. I think that's keeping them connected, and that's what keeps them engaged, because they get to see from George Floyd to different things that was happening in our city. I said, let's read these articles together. Let's go over it. And I made them, I wouldn't say made them, but I had them read Black economic books throughout the whole summer. And then they have to do an essay at the end. So they're stay connected because the passion is there, the love is there, and the unity is there. And then also the financial wealth. Like, I pay them for their time. And I think that's important. People overlook them, but they'll work for $1 if you show them the value of $1. And I say, don't spend it on materialistic things. Look at how so I think that's been helpful. You can't change everybody, but they can definitely make a difference in their family and teaching them how to do business better in the urban community.
Well, that's good. Yeah, definitely. So basically, when you're talking about, you had basically started with a product or started with a concept, and then at the end, you had an end result product, a final product in the end.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. And you said there were masks? What were they? What kind of?
Dealing with COVID, and they were saying some of the young children wasn't safely. We had created different designs with some of the youth, and I said, pick the slogan that your friends will wear, because our slogans is a little corny. So they came out with that one, and it was really neat. And so we didn't really produce a mass production of it because we didn't have the social media platform to do so. But I think most of them are on TikTok and Instagram, and I think that's how you can keep the youth engaged when it comes to knowledge and making it fun facts. Yeah. So we gave fun facts Friday.
Definitely. Yeah. And so that's good. And that's I kind of took a stop right there for a minute, because that is one of my passions. It's definitely with the youth. And, because once we transition, we got to be able to leave whatever we're doing, to them. And it's good that you have started to do that. So, or you've actually have done it. So moving into the entrepreneur space, dealing with your career, what you're doing, you had mentioned about you were dealing with a hair loss product, or you had created a hair loss product. And can you tell us a little bit about that? Because we're going to talk about the benefits and different things like that, but tell us a little bit about the product that you have.
So in the industry, like I said, for over 30 years, and a lot of my clients was having issues with shedding. So I was always involved in hair loss products from different companies, and I found a lot of them did not work. So I took 2 years to study to find out what exactly works for Black hair. Of course, with me using a lot of the products, I knew certain ingredients that would work, and that's how I created my hair loss products. I wouldn't say it was from trial and error. I could say just studying and researching all the natural ingredients. That's what helped me to correlate what products work and how it helps to stimulate the hair growth. And because I use my clients as a persons to use it, they were my first testimonies. And at first I wasn't really pushing myself to purchase it because I felt like the agents had the market on lock. So I had to get out of that negative mindset and said, hey, your people will purchase things that work because you're the educator and you can tell them what are the positive benefits. So it's been on the market for over 3 years. I was supposed to be in 3 states teaching and educating people on the positive results of the hair loss product, but COVID happened. So I've been trying to do more educational classes online. But yeah, that's how it started.
Good. So as we spoke over the years, you mentioned that you had a very powerful mentor in your life that kind of springboarded you into a lot of the thought process with this hair loss product. Can you tell our group a little bit about that?
I thank God. I met Mr. Dudley, and I'm so proud to say Mr. Dudley is my mentor. He came and did a book signing at my salon a few years back, and we've been connecting, I would say every week or once a month, depending, and I would fly out to see him. And his trainings would be like a 10-hour session when I would go for like a weekend or a 7-day session. And so his level of teaching was like almost brainwashing me to be Black, staying true to who I am and not allowing people to dictate your success. And so that level of integrity and different stories that he would tell me throughout his career, knowing that he was so oppressed, it allowed me to kind of get some of his spirit, if I can say it like that, like his energy, his characteristics, like don't allow teach you to echo food. You schedule that time to echo food. So
right.
he knows stuff that he's educated me on, has really taught me about the manufacturing, the business part. Be nice, but don't be too nice where you're hurting yourself, because that's some things that we do in business. So he's just been an amazing mentor for me throughout this whole process.
It sounds like it's almost like he basically put his or transferred his anointing or his mantle over to you, to carry on to give him.
I think he definitely poured it out. I think he knows that I'm really committed to helping our race move forward. I think he's extremely proud. I think a lot of times we get too caught up in money and not change. So I think that's why, we pretty much talk as often as we do, because he knows I do get a little frustrated with our lack of commitment sometimes. But he just said, you got to keep pressing. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So, So we talked about the youth. We talked about we talked about the salon, and we talked about the hair loss product. And so one of the reasons that I personally felt that you would be a good fit for, our conversation here is because, those who know, and this is not about me by any means, it's about taking a product, such as our company, we take a product from the ground pretty much and then make it into a finished end product. And that's sort of or exactly what you do as well with natural ingredients, hair loss, things like that we had spoke about. So can you get into your hair, your hair loss product as far as what's in it, the benefits of it, things like that, and the health benefits of it?
Yeah, if I can just add that during my summer program with the youth, I have them read Mr. Fuller's book, which is Mr. Dudley's mentor that passed away. And so all the children before they leave my summer program, they have to read Mr. Dudley's book as well as Mr. Fuller's book. And I think that's so important that we know our history before we even think that we can reinvent the wheel. And so because Mr. Fuller created his products, and then after that, Mr. Dudley worked with him and created his product, it's just, for me creating my products can see you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Use the tools that they've shown me to try to do the same thing for the next generation. And really, I wouldn't say the buy-in, but for the lack of better words, we have to teach each other that we're worth the investment to each other. And so with my all natural product, I did research to find out, can I purchase it in the United States? I went to the all natural store to make sure that it was easy accessible. And that's how I created my product. I also didn't use certain ingredients because it would have been too strong. And it would have watered down some of the ingredients that I needed to accelerate for those that struggle with hair loss. One of the problems that we have is inflammation when we get in braids and weaves and wigs. And so some of the products that I use was coconut oil because that helps with inflammation and it helps strengthen with, it helps with the scalp infection. But if you have really bad dandruff, that's what the coconut oil helps produce. Then I also have wheat germ, and a lot of us grew up with cream of wheat and like anything like wheat tina. All of that really does help. And then it also helps with women that struggle with menopause, and it helps with the different vitamins, which is vitamin B, B1, B6, B3. And then also with aloe vera, like aloe, it actually is an excellent ingredient if you have sores or any type of infection. So if you have issues with your scalp being sore or irritated, then the aloe is actually like an ointment that you can use to soothe the scalp, which also helps accelerate growth. And then it was like 12 natural oils that I put in there. Because it's patent pending and it's been a challenge for me to get it completely patent. I've been going back and forth with the FDA with that, but it's a holy basil, which is another anti-inflammatory that helps strengthen the hair. We have yang lang, and so it's just a lot of all natural ingredients that's used to help accelerate the hair growth. So within 3 months, you'll see the difference in your hair, especially for those that are in the second stages of hair loss. And a lot of the men, I find that they use it, but it also has rosemary, which helps reduce stress. So some of those natural oils that I use, just the smell of it reduces your nerves and things of that nature as well.
Yeah.
Study to research it. That's how I came out with the product. Yeah.
Yeah. I know we did, we work with rosemary in culinary school, and that is definitely it is definitely an asset to basically even just smelling it, it definitely does something to you as well. So that's interesting. Yeah. So that's interesting. So that product is, definitely all natural and, different natural products you can get. And have you ever thought about or considered getting, maybe sourcing it from local growers or anything like that in the Philadelphia area? Or is that kind of a challenge, or is that something you've ever thought about doing?
So it's definitely a challenge. They were talking about presenting us with a manufacturing company, like having it as like how Mr. Dudley has his plant. But like Johnson & Johnson has a new initiative and they invited me on a call, but nothing came to fruition. As far as the natural piece, I would love to see that being something that we can work together on. But knowing the outcome would be the harvest time and how do you grow these natural products and to get them into product mode within the next year or so. I think that would be the key, but then also scaling up to get it out to the masses,
Definitely. So definitely a health, health and natural, is definitely a good spin on for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, does anyone have any questions for Ms. Turner? Okay.
So I can show you the bottle. So this is what it looks like. I have it on.
Oh yeah, show us your photo.
Yeah, you can look at it. And these are some of the natural oils. Like I was saying, that it's all natural, and then it also is in all the natural store, not too far from me. So it's homegrown. So I don't have to wait to get it from China. It's manufactured in the United States. Then here's the coconut oil as well as cedarwood. So certain ingredients that I didn't mention, but it's all in there. It's on my website. I do a consultation, whether it's a phone consultation or it's different testimonies on my website, which is www.hdjsalon.com. And so, I think my clients are my best testimony, and then family and friends, they all use the product, and for me, it's like a 3-month prescription. So they use it and then they re-up on it because they see the positive results. So that's been the best asset for me to know that people purchase it and then they repurchase it and repurchase it. So since it's been on the market, the same demographic of people that I've sold it to continue to keep it in their cabinets, which is great for me because most of the time you'll buy stuff, you try it once or twice and then you throw it away or you never use it. So I'm thankful. Yeah.
And that's definitely, definitely what we should consider, because like I said, so many things out there that we're using that are chemically induced, which is definitely not helpful for us, even down to the scalp products as well. So definitely, I commend you on what you're doing and everything. So cool.
Thank you.
All right.
So Ms. Turner, this is TJ. I've got a couple of questions, if I may. You said you belong to or led a national organization of barbers and beauticians. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
How many members, if you don't mind my asking?
Yeah, so we have up to 200 members now in Philadelphia, but it's also in the tri-state. And then we reached out to a few more throughout Pennsylvania. But most of our businesses in our consortium is in Philadelphia and in the outskirts. So it's about 200,000 hair salons. Yeah.
And what's the name of the group again?
It's called PPIA.
PPIA. Okay.
So the total name is PA Professional Image Alliance. So when I say that, it's just easy to say PPIA. So you can look at it on the website. But it's PA Professional Image Alliance. And we created the organization after COVID. We were I'm one of the team leads, so I'm the president of the organization. And we actually protested in the very beginning of the pandemic because we were finding that a lot of our small businesses was not getting the resources, even though they was deeming us as unbankable. A lot of us are legit. A lot of us do pay our taxes. So they were literally targeting our market, our industry in the very beginning. And we took offense to it. So that's how we created the coalition.
And my second question, thank you for that answer. My second question, out of curiosity, one, I want to thank you for the mentorship and the stewardship you have with the youth. But I'm curious how you met Mr. Dudley, or how you guys began your mentorship with him.
Yeah, so I have a lot of great relationships in the city of Philadelphia, and one of my friends who is a credit repair, she was friends with a young lady who worked directly with Mr. Dudley for the past 50 years. Her name is Kim Herner, and my friend name is Tyra. And she mentioned that Mr. Dudley was coming to town to do a class. And I was super excited because I'm like, okay, this man is amazing. He's the only Black man that never sold our industry out, and he stayed true. So for me, it was like, wow, it's very rare that our Black companies don't get bought out by the Asians or another company. So I asked if we could have a phone conversation. And after that, of course, I invited all my friends to the classes. And then he wound up coming into my salon to do the book signing. And from there, we forged an amazing relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Can you give, my last question is, can you send Chef Joseph some of that product you got? I want to see if how good it is to stimulate grease over.
If you're in the stages of hair loss, it won't grow your hair back. But I can say, because my son uses it and he has a thick head of hair, a lot of times it's genetic. So I want to say that, and I always try to educate people. If you have your nieces and nephews, or even your children or your grandchildren, if you have alopecia, which is hair loss and baldness, it could be genetics. So you want to catch it in the second generation. So say that my son is 30, he has a little thin area, and because he uses the hair loss products, it grows it back. But you want to catch it if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, so you don't go all the way to the last stages of hair loss. So I don't lie to people. If you have a scalp reflection, then it won't accelerate hair growth. So I always share tell the next generation to catch it if they want to continue to have a healthy head of hair. But it will strengthen your beard. It'll do all of that.
Mr. Tuck can use it over there. I see him stroking his beard over there. But no, I was just busting Joseph's or Darrell. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And so back to our group, we deal with farming and legacy and, crops and things like that. And that's, again, is one of the main reasons that I thought that you will be a good fit for tonight's conversation, because what you're doing is natural, and it's something that literally grows from the earth and produce, as a natural product to resell and things like that. So that's definitely a plus. Does anyone else have any questions tonight? Mr. Jamerson?
Okay, you're gonna call me out early. I think Tamika had unmuted herself earlier. I was waiting on her to jump in there. You want to go ahead, Tamika? Go for it.
Go ahead, King. Go ahead. I'll follow you. My apologies.
Okay. I just thank you for being on. Definitely appreciate you coming on and everything. And if you could repeat your information for everybody slowly, so that they can be able to get it down and be able to contact you, those who would like to contact you.
Okay.
My question would be, with some of the groups and stuff that we're dealing with, I do work with youth in different areas in Evansville, Indianapolis. We have Ty on here from Fort Wayne. We got groups in Gary. And so one of the things that we were looking at was trying to connect them with individuals who would use some products and stuff that they could grow and create that chain of connection. Like with that, we've talked with Darrell with what he does and things of that nature. Is there something that we need to know, how much would you use and things of that nature, or do you just get the process end of it, dealing with just the oils and things of that nature?
Right. Like, I think for me, this will be a new arena, and I would need to know a little bit more in reference to if it's coming directly from the earth and processing it, what would that look like to create it? Mm-hmm. But I think it's an amazing concept to teach our young men and women how to create something from the earth without using process. material. So I am very much interested in learning and doing the things that I need to do to manifest the same results. Yeah.
We had a young lady, and we always challenge them to go out there and experiment on their own. And one young lady came up with a hair product using okra, and so she's doing pretty good. I haven't asked her how much she made, because then I might have to ask for a cut since I gave her. But she's been doing pretty good. I mean, but it to me, it opens up their minds to entrepreneurship. It sparks that creativity that's in our people, and that's one of the things that I try to connect our people with and let them understand that 90% of everything that we use comes from agriculture at some point down the line. So even for the materials and stuff, the oils and stuff that you have, at some point in time, it was in a plant form that they extracted those oils and stuff for you to be able to put into your product. And so, I know that we're a long ways off from that, but if you're looking at doing a complete connection to all this, getting back to what Mr. Dudley's doing and everything else, if they have a processor and they need these are things that we can look at connecting with our local farmers and things of that nature to be able to work with. So, my thing, would you guys be open to a think tank on that, or seeing how that might go, or anything?
Yeah. Yes, I think that's always a great, I could definitely reach out to him. I think it would be an amazing concept to work on. I have a chemist that I can reach out to. I think we would need to know the timeline. When I spoke to a gentleman earlier today, prior to getting on the call, whenever it comes to growing things from the earth, we have to make sure that the process is effective and cost effective. And I guess that's the part that the think tank got to work through.
Right. That's part of the feasibility study.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pause. I'm gonna pass it over to Queen Tamika. Let her jump in there. Be careful, because she's pretty rough with the questions that she asks.
No. Hey, Queen, thank you so much for the work you're doing, tonight's presentation. And, it's really important for us to think about how we connect all of this. And my questions was honestly along the same lines of how do we address how to get your products. And I'm not sure how many total ingredients, which of course don't have to reveal that because it's patent pending, but how could we set up an opportunity to think about how we can take it all the way from seed to shelf, if you will. It's a lot of products, and sometimes it's growing cycles and everything else, but I would certainly be interested in that, understanding that and discussing that.
Yeah, I would think even if we was to use the oil to add the CB component, I think a lot of people are going in that direction. When I've been to some of the hair shows prior to COVID, I think even just having 2 ingredients outside of the hair loss product, it could be something that's, scalp inflammation reduction, as well as, stimulating the mind and brain with the CB component. So I don't think it necessarily has to be this exact concept. I think it's other things that we can do to make it beneficial for the youth, as well as, knowing everybody's going the hemp way, we know that you can use hemp for the hair as well. So I think it's something that we can discuss, definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, definitely sounds like a good somehow to tie the the natural ingredients through the processor, so that with Mr. Dudley or whatever way you choose to go about that. But that's definitely seems to be a possibly good fit. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Anyone do you have any more questions for Ms. Turner?
Ty has a question. Ty, you want to unmute yourself?
I didn't want to unmute myself, but yeah.
On the spot.
How y'all doing? Greetings, everyone. I just asked, what about if we purchase some of your ingredients wholesale? Maybe not buy them in smaller quantities, like you said,
Right.
you're buying, where you can get access to them. Maybe
Right.
we helped with like buying the coconuts and the aloe from some of our farmers down south wholesale. I mean, to process aloe isn't hard. To process coconut isn't hard either. So I know I heard those two products, and I immediately said, "Well, hey, let's buy some whole bunch of coconuts. Let's buy a whole bunch of, aloe, and then that could drop her price down immediately without
Right.
us having to do any, processing or anything, or
Right.
well, to a larger extent."
Right. Definitely, I'm open to that. I mean, right now I was in a position where I was able to order a large amount of products. So I have cases of coconut oil and cases. Right now, I need to get it pushed out to the market, to the masses. But I think that's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur, being in front of people and having opportunities where you can successfully sell your products. So I do have a large amount of inventory right now. But definitely if we can, because the prices that I paid for each item was kind of costly, and the shelf life is 2 to 3 years. So I have to make sure that I'm removing these products sooner rather than later, so to speak.
All right.
I,
Good.
I,
Good.
I have another quick question.
Yeah.
With the group of other barbers and beauticians, are you the only one um, who makes your own product? Are they also into that? Is there something in particular? Because I understand with one person or one individual who's putting stuff out, maybe one field could take care of them. But if we get something to the point to where we're able to produce for a whole conglomerate of barbers and beauticians and stuff on the level, that might help on your end as far as getting your stuff marketed out, and also help us on our end of providing and processing.
Right. Absolutely. Because that's exactly the mindset and the model that I explained to the team in the very beginning. We're doing a big Black History Month for small business, and that's exactly what I'm presenting to them. We no longer need to start shopping and purchasing from other nationalities. That's not going to help us retire well. So I was looking at it as a stock option for my product line. It's not just for me. So I'm definitely open. I think our businesses are so used to just being workers and not entrepreneurs in a level where we believe that we can have our own shampoos and products bought by us, sold by us.
Mhm.
So we have to reformulate our mindset because we're so used to buying from other nationalities versus ourselves. So I think the trust level is there with my group. I think it's just the part that they didn't have the 10-hour session every day with Mr. Dudley. So it's kind of getting your family and friends to do the buy-in. That's a little bit of a challenge, because if you're a brand or the face of the brand, you kind of risk the insecurities that come out sometimes. So I think that's where you guys could come into play, because it's not just about me, but presenting it to the group, showing that there's more power if we start buying things from a company, not just Ann Turner, because I keep saying that it don't have to be here du jour. It could be whatever name, because I created a name called Integrity, which I think it could go global for our products for Black businesses. So you're actually spot on. Everything that I've been envisioning is just that, not just being a profit for Ann Turner or here du jour, but really for our organization. Any professional barber or stylist can purchase the products and reap the financial benefits. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. All right. Any more questions? Okay. All right. So Ms. Turner, so did you leave are you able to leave your contact information and everything to?
Yes. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
if you put something in the chat, it allow my phone to put something back in the chat, but I won't initially be able to do so.
Yeah. And again, I thought it would be a good fit for the group, because dealing with natural products, and that's definitely something that we definitely try to push at this stage, is having natural products, for definitely our people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm putting, yeah. I'm putting it in a chat now. And then I'll put the website, and then I'll also put the website for PPIA.
That's good. Definitely. Well, it's definitely interesting talking to you on this, because like I said, I knew the surface of it, but I didn't know the in-depth of what went into everything, that you're doing. So definitely, you have a good drive and keep up the good work.
Yeah, I'm trying. I appreciate it. Allowing me to be on the call. I hope it was helpful. I'm definitely open. Sometimes I get a little frustrated with our people, but I know that we have to see the bigger vision, and unity is one of the things that I always think at the end of the tunnel. If we really master the unity part, we can really succeed together.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. Cooperative economics. For
Yeah.
sure. All right. Okay. If there's no more questions, then I guess we can close out. Does anyone else have any more questions? Comments? Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Turner, I guess it was nice to have you. I guess it's nice to have you on the call. And definitely we will keep all your information as far as how to contact you and somehow plug this into, a bigger production cycle, or production phase, if that's, something that we can do together. We'll go from there. And you definitely have my number, and you have Mr. Jameson's number. Well, our contact information. So we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Well, hold on. I didn't see your information come up in the chat. Maybe I'm off. Did anybody else get that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did put it in there. It says chat. Maybe it was just reached out to Tide.
Yeah, put it to everybody.
I don't know how to do that on my phone. See, if I was on a laptop, but my laptop is at the salon, so I'm sorry. But if you if you say hello to me, I can put it in the chat, and I think everybody would be able to see it.
All right, I'm gonna say hello to you.
Thank you.
And then I'll copy it and
okay. Sorry about that.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you go ahead and put your information in there, and then I'll copy that to everybody.
All right. Thank you.
So Darrell, tell us about some of the things that you're doing right now.
Right now? Okay. So
we know you're interviewing right now, so we don't want to get that particular, but as far as business.
Business right now. Well, as far as business right now, we're focusing on one of the USDA grants, dealing with ginger, peppers, and a value-added product. So that's been one of the target focuses, getting everything together there, even though that is the first official grant that the Chef Joseph's company, could walk into possibly, to basically grow peppers or get peppers from local farmers, to be able to turn it into a value-added product. So that's one of the things that's really been on my plate lately. And between that and ramping up for the new season, coming up with the, seafood and things, the beach and all that kind of stuff. So that's where my focus has been, and the monetization of the Chef Joseph's company, the teaching platforms, and the Chef Joseph's children's coloring book, and the BAM series. This little man you see on my sweatshirt. We created a Chef Joseph's BAM based on Bam Bam and the Flintstones, but this is going to be a BAM chef. I have a 6-series comic book coming out, and we're working on series 2 and 3 should be finished on Sunday. Yeah, and it's pretty hot too. Hot. Yeah, so I'll leave that alone. So.
All right.
Yep.
Right. All right.
Yep.
I want to shout out to Mr. Bartlett out there. Did you get a chance to get some of that hot sauce that we had this summer?
I did. Yes, I did. I did.
Chef Joseph is the one that made that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's looking at perhaps trying to partner with our youth group and stuff on them growing some stuff for him. So
sounds great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any questions about anything today, or?
No, I was I think Miss Ann I was listening about her hair care products, and I was trying to figure how we could help her to market that. And some of you guys are talking about how you could get her products or her ingredients to her at a cheaper price. And in this group, is there anything where the group comes together and put dollars together to help one business thrive, or has that ever been discussed, or this is something that they do or want to do?
By us being so geographically spread out, we haven't quite got to that point of us putting dollars together for that. We've been working together in a sense of grants and things of that nature to be able to partner with each other and make those connections that way, to help build and to create a supply chain, so to speak, of what we have. So no, we haven't gotten to that part. Now, if you got somebody who's or if you like to finance us, we would love to take a couple dollars from you.
I think our state legislatures should be about the business of doing that, and it's going to take a little time,
Right?
And our federal government as well. But because I was a little late getting on the call because I just left down State House, but we should be able to go to our individual state legislatures and the National Black Caucus of state legislators and make it known. These are things that we need. This country is built off of our backs. Now, come on and assist us on these endeavors. And agriculture is so important. And John Jameson, you teach so much to our youth, and bringing them along. I think we should be able to get some governmental grants and get it in the state budgets.
Well, yes, I'm more than happy. That's why I have you as a part of this, because I can only do so much.
Yeah.
So anything that I can do, that you can direct me on, I'll be more than happy to get on it and get with the team here, and we'll be more than happy to push forward. But we would love to do that and to work with you on some things.
As I told you before, I did get on the agriculture committee for the state of Indiana,
right?
And I'm the only African American that serves on that committee. And I don't know that we ever had an African American on that committee. I don't know that we didn't, but I just don't know that we did. But I've been embraced very well, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to get that. So when I go back next year, we can have some legislation, John, that you'll have to help me with, but to do some things for African American farmers, and I think we can get some buy-in.
But that sounds great. That sounds great. I know that you had a meeting earlier this week with Mr. Hawkins.
Right.
I was unfortunately, for some reason, it kept sending me to the wrong meeting, and but he's going to have another one tomorrow with a couple other state reps in tomorrow. So I'll be on there and be able to listen to him. And then
I think Earl Harris is going to be on that one tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he did get some legislation passed through that agriculture committee, and I was happy to be there to help push that when he presented.
Yeah. So all the things that you're talking about, these are things that because I talked with him today with Arthur, and that's what he was saying. He was going to make recommendations in our favor to try to get some things pushed and set up. So be ready to put some work in now. I got you on tape now saying that you're the man. So
dude, if I tell you the moon is made of green cheese, get you a box of saltines and come go with me.
Hey, I'm riding now. I'm ready. So yeah, that sounds good. All right. I got a brother James Bradley on here. James, I know that you deal a lot with processing and things of that nature. Is there any way that you can assist us in working with the hair products and things of that nature?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry I chimed in late. Brother Jameson, I heard a little bit about her product, her hair products, okay, but didn't hear everything in terms of what it is. It's the ingredients in the product. I heard coconut maybe and aloe vera.
And she was talking about some fragrances such as I believe it was rosemary and some other types of things that she puts in there. She didn't go that deep into what all she needed, but she said it was all natural. So we were just inquiring if there was anything that we might be able to grow and be able to produce for that.
Well, you know me, I'm a moringa guy. So
yeah,
if moringa oil extracts it could be a beautiful product. I noticed there's a company out of Florida, out of Haiti, who is selling that now to improve hair growth, stimulation. But the moringa tree itself is quite amazing in terms of the potentials of it. The leaves, of course, I sell the powder, the leaves, the seeds, the pods. Every part of the tree is good for human body, in particular now with COVID. I'd like for you all to consider that, not only to grow it, but to use it. Just like I put it in everything that I consume every day. 2 seeds every day. I use the powder. It's good for your immune system, mental clarity, stability. So as long as you want to stay vertical, you should consider using a moringa. And you can Google, there's all kinds of testimonies on it, but I sell the powder, the seeds, and we also are using it to feed animals with, livestock. I have a study at Tuskegee now where we shipped a ton of powder down, so they are going to study it the next 6 months. I already know that it increased milk production by 30%, but nobody in this country knows about it. And I just received the first report where they fed it to goats, resounding thumbs up on that. So my next study is at Alabama State University, where they're going to use the moringa powder as a biofertilizer and a foliar spray to combat pests on hemp plants, cannabis. And it is a good product to infuse with cannabis for cancer patients, for all types of reasons. So I'm not that strong on marketing other than my own product, but I certainly think if you're bringing a new product to the market, you should seriously take a look at moringa as an additive.
You hear that, Miss Ann? This might be, be the man to get you on. You'd be like the S girl. You can come in and take over.
Not go to the S curl.
So I want to show you, if you can see this. This is the pack of seeds here, right? So this is a packet of powder. So you put this in a smoothie, put it on the salad. I don't have a salt shaker. I have a moringa shaker, so I put it on everything. But this is all natural. It's organic, could be grown on your patio. So I would encourage everybody on the call, if you can, grow a tree. It doesn't matter if you're in an apartment, in a building, just eat the leaves. That's in essence will keep you vertical.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that, and you know, I've been talking to you about some of the things that we're doing with our youth also. So that's one of the things I'd like to see if we can get incorporated in that is you sharing with them the moringa, and perhaps we can come up with ways to get that to going. I know brother Ty on here. I know he was one I told you hit me to the moringa a few years ago. Gave me a couple plants. Unfortunately, they didn't make it through the winter because I didn't know that they didn't do too good and when it got cold. So, but that's it. But anyhow, with that being said, I know I took over Darrell's meeting. I have a bad habit of doing that. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to him. See if he has something. I see Brother Joe Tutt up there, but I'm passing it to Joseph, aka Darrell, aka Mr. Bam himself. It's back on you.
Right on. All right. So, yep. So, Ms. Turner, like I said, we definitely want to thank you for coming aboard, you know, to feature your product and talk about what you do. I definitely would look into expanding like the possibilities of getting it from farmers and things, because that can actually open it up to grants and different things like that, you know, and a lot of people in our group are very familiar with that type of stuff as well. So yeah, so other than that, I mean, everything sounds good. We're glad you're able to come on. Do you have any final words?
No, thank you so much for inviting me. I guess, yes, thank you, Mr. James, and thank you for all the leadership and continue to do all the blessings that you've been doing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate what you've done and even taking time to come out and share with us. I find it very valuable.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. If all hearts and minds are clear, we can go ahead and exit out. And thank you all for coming. And
Hey,
we'll
thank
see
you,
you next.
Brother Jameson.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right. Blessings, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.